So this session is always, it will be conducted in a very close group, and everybody is trying to achieve something in their career. And that's where we all are. We have a specific agenda for this session as to how we want to run it. And Sanjeev, just feel free. I'm not sure if how many people have you met before, because I've had a one-to-one with lot many people. So this session will be conducted by myself and Sanjeev together. We'll be owning as to how the sessions will be run, and we'll take care of everybody's concerns. I'll be very, very flexible as to what everybody has to say. So this session will keep on evolving as we go. So this type of program is first of its kind. So I haven't seen anybody actually doing these sort of sessions. So most of the programs that you see, they always stick to the agenda, and then they complete at certain point of time. This is something very, very different, where we want to be with you to whatever goals that you want to achieve. Everybody in here is at a different point in their career. So some people are freshers, some have around 2-3 years of experience. But we have people who have 10 years of experience, and it goes up to 25 years of experience to the max as well. So lots of variety of people here, and what we want to achieve is that everybody goes in together. So when it comes to the different sort of experiences that we have, so lots of people have experience in support. Some people have experience in marketing and sales. Some have just passed out of college. Some have got around 2-3 years of experience. Some have a banking domain. So we want this group to be a closed working group where everybody is helping each other out. Because one thing which is common among everybody is the DevOps and cloud learnings, and that is what stitches us all together. So once we have a basic foundations and we start progressing, these sessions will have a lot more maturity in terms of the discussions that we'll be progressing with. Initially, it might start up with a certain amount of knowledge base, which many of you will be having. And but slowly and slowly, as we keep on building up the foundations, these sessions will start having a more mature discussions, a more deeper discussions into the technologies. Some of these technologies, even I don't claim to be a master of everything, and nobody is. But what we all intend is to keep learning and help everyone else. So that's what the motive is. So there are many ways to conduct these type of sessions. So we have one sort of proposal as to how we want to do this, but we will be very flexible in how we want to conduct these sessions. So we'll listen to what you have to say. We'll try to improvise. We are also doing this for the first time. But what we know is that Sanjeev and myself, we have got a tremendous amount of experience in the industry. So for those who have not known me, so I have been living in Australia for around close to 20 years now. I've got around 24-25 years of experience. I've worked predominantly in banking and finance sector, insurance, telecom, and I've been working in DevOps and cloud for over 10 years at the moment. So I've been working in DevOps when even this term was not coined as DevOps. So I was doing the activity. It was known as software configuration management at that time. And then this whole bunch of term came up as DevOps. So to me, the transition was effortless because I was doing something and this was coined up as DevOps. And I inherently had a very, very seamless experience to it. With my current amount of knowledge, I'm very confident that I'll be able to guide you all in the right directions. But saying that, even if you have very little amount of experience, any sort of ideas, you're most welcome to say. This group will be a very informal group. You don't need to hide anything from anyone. Everybody is trying to do. Some people have been trying to put some experience in their CV, which they don't have, but that is what they are here for. That is what they are trying to achieve, that whatever you're trying to put up in your CV, you actually have an experience out of it. So most of the time, these experience will come from the projects that we have, because these are the projects, and we'll tell you how to incorporate your projects in your actual experiences. And if you have not worked on any sort of projects, that is also fine, because then as these sessions progress, we'll tell you as to how you incorporate. So the program is at a base level, the program has got a couple of boot camps. So which is, we just completed the DevOps Bootcamp. We will be having AWS Bootcamp. There are many projects, but we are not constrained by these technologies and the dimensions of it. as we proceed to our careers, so we'll be bringing a lot more new technologies into it. So let's say even if it is AI or ML, which we don't have any ideas, we'll start bringing all those discussions into it so that people have got a very wide variety of experience. And all these discussions will play a very important role in whichever career path that you would want to go with. So, but that is something that's for later. So I'll hand it over to Sanjeev. So Sanjeev will probably tell about himself. Sanjeev, I've worked with Sanjeev in one of the organizations. Sanjeev is a very dear friend of mine, and it was myself and Sanjeev that we started all this stuff. So, Sanjeev, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Saurabh. So good start, good opening discussion. So as Saurabh said, right, we are also doing it for the first time. We're not sure in what shape it will be in future, but we'll try our best so that it's useful for everyone. There are different level of people in this group. And what I have seen, especially in DevOps and cloud space, there is not much of a difference between an interview or a discussion that happens for a junior DevOps engineer or a cloud architect. There will be maturity tests, but the technical tests will be very similar. The architects will be expected to know a bit of hands-on. A junior DevOps engineer will need to know some sort of architectural skills where they know best practices. There is not much of a difference. There's the learning path, the everything is, to me, it's very similar. There is not much of a difference. The depth of the knowledge will obviously, with experience, you will add that value. So that is the idea that whatever we bring is relevant to all of you different roles. So about myself, most of you guys would know I am DevOps and Cloud Architect. I am based out of Sydney, Australia. Right now, I'm visiting India, so I am in Bombay right now. And uh, what else? We worked together, myself and Saurabh, for one of the organization in past, and we thought we need to build something for the community, and we started rolling out this sort of complex projects and through our YouTube channel. And our idea is the basic vision that we have is, or what we during our hiring process or during working with a lot of junior staff, we found that people are learning very basic stuff. They are not building enough complex use cases, etc. So we wanted to bring those complex scenarios which are actively used and actively built in the industry. That was our main vision, because basic courses and all should actually be free and are all already available free. They are right there on YouTube. You don't have to pay for that. It's the next level, the advanced topics, the confusions, like people don't have the right roadmap, or they have a lot of questions. They end up wasting a lot of time on technologies that are not really needed. So we wanted to cut down that learning path so that they focus on the real things that are used in the industry that will help them get quick success in their job or their job search process. So that was the overall vision, to build something slightly complex, not very basic. That's how we rolled out our few projects earlier in July and August month. Then people requested a beginner-friendly bootcamp. We rolled out a beginner-friendly bootcamp, and now we still thought that despite having a lot of content available, people need mentorship. They need one-to-one interaction. They need uh, help when they really need it. Like they need an ongoing help where they need to define their roadmap, the things that they should be learning and things that they should be ignoring. But there will be certain events in their life. It could be an interview, it could be any other progression opportunity, or it could be any job struggle, or they need some guidance on any architectural pattern or anything that they are building in their career. So it could be any such event. That's when they need help. And that's how this mentorship program was built, that people who are serious about their career, who want to learn complex things, as well as need um, accessibility to people, like-minded people who are doing the same thing. So that's how the mentorship program was started, and that's our vision, to build complex and to stay connected with the community. So how we plan to roll it out, how we plan to run this program. So Christmas is usually a slightly lean period. Everybody would have some sort of break, some sort of less workload in their career, in their, whether they are searching job or whether they are working in a job. So we want to, best utilize this time frame. So that's how we start. We're planning to start sessions in January, but we thought probably this is the right time to kick off these sessions. And we are open to feedback. We don't think that this is the perfect way. If there is anything, you reach out to us that, maybe you add anything of this sort, then that would be helpful for us. We'll definitely try to do that. How we plan to run this is, and you guys can probably note it down or just remember it, or uh, first we did one-to-one session with everyone where we looked at your resume, looked at your success stories, and suggested what you should be learning. If you haven't booked that session, you can do that with Saurabh. I will pick up some sessions when I join back in Sydney next week. So start with a one-to-one session, understand where the gaps are, identify some sort of, maybe some certifications to be targeted or some complex projects to be added to your resume or your skill set, so that you can uh, you know justify your experience level and you can justify any of the interview. So start with a basic our one-to-one session. All the links are available in the Slack channel. Once the one-to-one sessions are done and you are learning those gaps that have been identified, what we want to what we plan to do is every weekend, pretty much around same time, we plan to conduct these sort of sessions where we will be talking about three things mainly. There will be a subject on that day. There will be a topic that we will be discussing. So we will be presenting, say, GitOps, DevSecOps, or any such complex thing, cost optimization in cloud, or how to manage multi-account structure in AWS, in Azure, multiple subscriptions. So slightly complex thing that are discussed in the interviews mainly, and usually not easily available. How do you deploy to multiple environments, and how do you deploy to multiple regions, and sort of slightly complex stuff. Maybe we will discuss some sort of designing uh, aspects. So I have seen a lot of interviews nowadays look at a whiteboard session where you will be given a problem, you will be designing an infrastructure for that application. So maybe those sort of sessions can be conducted. So there will be a topic of discussion on that day. Second thing is general question answer. So you have any questions you have any your market specific questions. You are in UK, you are trying for jobs or anything where we can help. You have an interview lined up, so that job description can be discussed. What are the possible questions, or because every job description, what I have seen is speaks about something. There is a focus area in every job description that we go for, any interview we go for. Sometimes the organization is trying to build something, so the automation is focused. Sometimes the organization has built something already, and the just maintaining that operationally efficiently, that is the focus. Sometimes security, sometimes cost. So every job description you go for, every company that's hiring has a purpose. Sometimes it's not very evident from the job description, so you have to read between the lines and understand what the focus area can be, and then go with that mindset. Because if you go with that sort of mindset that this is the focus area that they want, and if you bring those same sort of uh, experience that you have, then you would have some extra points in the discussion, and you could very quickly get connected with the hiring manager, and could be very helpful in that way. So these are the three question answers, job description discussions, interviews, maybe resume preparation, LinkedIn, looking at best practices. The third thing is, at some stage, we will probably split this entire group into multiple smaller groups. So could be based on region, or so you guys are helping each other. So maybe two people from UK can work together. So we will be explaining some sort of use cases to you, and you try to build those use cases in your environment. So we don't want to like restrict that. We will focus on the industry use cases rather than the tools and technologies. So you can build that use case in any of the tools that you are comfortable with. And we will then give you feedback where you can improve, what additional things can be added to it. Because what we have seen, uh, good presentation skills, good speaking ability is the way to go. There is not much of a difference between somebody earning very high or somebody earning low or not getting the right opportunities. Is they are not able to justify their experience. They are not able to showcase their portfolio. They're not able to speak about it. So speaking is very important. Um, Talking is important. The right terminology is important. The presentation skills are crucial. So we'll split that entire program into smaller groups where you guys will be building on certain complex use cases using the tools and technologies that you are comfortable with and presenting it to the entire group, which will help the people who have not built that solution also ask questions, understand it, so the knowledge will, multiply. So maybe you building something on security and presenting it on 1st of December, somebody building cost optimization presenting on 10th of December. So that sort of thing. So you get to know 2 or 3 topics. And because there will be a lot of research and a lot of learnings behind the scene, so all the important points will be presented. So you will slide you after sometimes it will just like gym or just like any other health program, it will take 2-3 months, and then you will be speaking that language. You will be talking like an expert. That is the main outcome. Uh, if you speak like an expert, talk like an expert, sense like an expert, then uh, they usually your interviews and your reputation at job will improve. That's automatically that happens. You don't have to put in effort in that. If you put effort in the building those solutions, things will automatically start to work out at your workplace. So that those are the 3 main topics that we want to discuss. Those 3 subjects that will be covered in every session. So question answers, resume, LinkedIn, any interview. Uh, we will bring a complex subject which we will be talking about. We will be presenting from our side, and then there would be a split of this group where you will be presenting, not everyone every session, one group, one weekend. That's how we will be presenting every weekend. So that's how we plan to do it. And as I said, open to feedback. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, thanks, Sanjeev. So as Sanjeev mentioned, so we will be splitting the groups, but the onus will also be on myself and Sanjeev to bring new things always to the forum. For example, many of you may not have a glimpse of uh, what an architect does. So we'll try to bring different sort of lenses to the same stuff. So let's say if you're working on a security, so how a DevOps engineer looks at security, how an architect looks at security, how a program manager looks at security, what are the different aspects to it. We'll also be discussing a lot of the best practices. We'll also be discussing many of the standard architectures, what sort of technologies that you put in creating an architecture. For example, let's say a banking practice or an insurance practice. So we'll bring lots of domain experience in it as well, because it's not just about the technology. So whenever you are going in for an interview, if you can be more specific about a specific sort of domain in it, that highlights and that scales up your experience a lot. So we'll be bringing all that flavor into it. We'll also be coming up with lots of architecture designs that will help you a lot in how a designing should be done in terms of cloud. So whether you should be using a load balancing, or you should be using Kinesis, or you should be using a DNS, how to use it. So it's not just about technology, but the right way to embed that as well. We'll be talking about security practices, how the large organizations look at security. So it's not just about encryption. It's not just about creating public and private subnets. So myself and Sanjeev, so we will be looking at all these different aspects, and we'll be bringing our experience to you. So whenever, so the next time that you are presenting, you will start adding all those flavors in your presentation. The more you talk about technicals, the more you will be very comfortable in using it in the interviews. I've seen that majority of interviews, they are won in the first 5 minutes. So because when an interviewer asks you, tell me about yourself and what you have done, this is the first question that you get in any interview. When you are able to explain your project, so because you have an open start, if you are able to explain projects and able to put in technical jargons into it, you are hired then and there itself. The rest 25-30 minutes is you have to sustain that sort of knowledge ability. So we will be telling you how to actually frame those sort of answers. We'll be telling you how you can work with all these technologies and bring all the domain experience to it.